Folks, hello and welcome to Tavern Chat. I'm your host, Eric Tenkar, your bartender in the OSR. And what do we have today? Well, besides the weather, New York City hit I don't know, mid 70s today. I have neighbors having a party. I don't know if it'll ever end. I don't know if you hear it in the background, but just amazing weather. Similar weather to 11 years ago when Rachel and I got married on November 5th. Beautiful day. So, in any case, we have an update to the Noble Knight Games Union story. Now, this is from Dicebreaker. I'm going to make some observations for this throughout this article. But Noble Knight Games workers head to a vote after tabletop retailer denies voluntary union recognition. So it's going to be a vote. So, why is there a vote? Because although there are apparently 70% of the employees, and there are 75 employees, so that's I don't know, over 50 employees have already signed up, got the union card. They have to actually have the vote to make it a union shop. Okay. That's fine, right? That's a democratic process. I don't have an issue with that. Owners of popular tabletop game retailer Noble Knight Games told workers currently forming a union that the company would not voluntarily recognize their effort, relegating its fate to a formal election. Okay. We know that they made this announcement in a press release on October 31st. That's the union. Noble Knight Games is a Wisconsin-based company. Okay. According to the union's press release, a supermajority of at least 70% of workers had already signed union cards, expressing their support in more worker-based control of company decisions. Well, I thought it's supposed to be about compensation and time off and better work environment. I didn't know it was about worker-based control of company decisions. That seems to be changing the goals. But specifically, the members of the company's warehouse and storefront, roughly numbering 75 people. So, like I said, somewhere in that 50 to 55 range, have their union cards, want a contract that will secure them improved compensation and affordable vet benefits, along with a healthy work-life balance, fair and transparent policies and procedures, and maintaining appropriate, viable workplace conditions and expectations. So now there's an article, I guess, back in ICV2. They refer to it here, where the ownership informed the union and CWA, the Communication Workers of America. That's the parent union of this newly birthed union. That they would not voluntarily recognize the union and thus begin arguing a contract in good faith. And this is apparently an uncharacteristically quick decision, given only 3 days have passed since NKG United went public. I don't see any examples of whether this is a quick decision or not. I don't take their word for it. There will be a formalized vote. Now, why would you not want a formalized vote? Well, you don't. It costs money. Now, it's not going to cost the local union money. It's going to cost CWA money, and honestly, they don't care. So, and again, the democratic process. Some people might not want to be part of the union. I don't know if it's going to be a closed shop. I don't know how that works in Wisconsin. The news outlet in Fitchburg, the Cap Times, reported. So this article, this union is getting space in news sources. That Noble Knight Games employees typically earn between $13 and $15. Now, this is not going to necessarily be a statement of fact. It's an opinion. It might be an opinion that I agree with, but well below $13, $15, well below what minimum wages should be in the U.S. when adjusting for inflation, and a figure that one of those workers said makes life a struggle in Madison. Again, I am for a news article. I don't believe that opinion should be placed within it, and that's certainly opinion. And by the way, Dicebreaker says, "Oh, they're experienced journalists." I don't know. Employee statements in NKG's United Press release describe conditions that are distressingly similar to anyone following the explosion of union formation across the U.S. in the last few years. And of course, COVID issues. They burned off vacation time to either avoid or cope with COVID. Healthcare options and apparently are hardly anyone can afford the healthcare options offered by ownership. That's not a actual. Hardly anyone is how many? I hate to be like that, and it really because this article could be so much better, but hardly anyone again is almost like giving your opinion. Like I don't know, hardly anyone ever goes into that store anymore. Hardly anyone takes the New York City subway because crime is up. It's. Remember, I did statistics for a while for a job, so nearly every department is overworked and regularly mandated overtime. But we also need that overtime just to pay the rent. Okay. So now this one is new hires earning more than longtime employees. Uh, Conditions sound very similar to those at Card Kingdom before their union successfully won an election earlier this summer. Card Kingdom. Well, what is that? Card Kingdom. It's a Magic the Gathering retailer. Card Kingdom, they alleged understaffed and mismanaged workplace and in constant crunch. This article is from May 16th. So, yeah, I wonder, I didn't read this article prior. I am wondering which union, I'm going to guess the CWA, the ones that are going to jump in here and save them. Again, I'm not going to. I was a union member as a cop, both in the PBA, as a patrolman, and the SBA, as a sergeant. When I retired, I became a lifelong SBA member. I paid my lifetime dues. I am pro-union. However, I am certainly not having something that's supposedly being a news source. And I will tell you when I opinionate, right? I will say, I'm spitballing. I am going to give you my opinion now. I'm going to give you my interpretation. I'm going to give you my magic 8 ball or crystal ball view of what's going to happen in the future. I make guesses, right? And I tell you when I'm doing that. I don't tell you that, well, they're getting paid $13 to $15 per hour, well below what a minimum wage should be in the United States. I'm not disagreeing, but minimum wage in the United States is what? $7.25? Hasn't gone up in how many years? Probably 2 decades. Yes, it should go up. New York State, other states have done it. But at least for the news article itself, stick to the facts. Hardly anyone can afford their health benefits with this company. Well, then what are the prices? What are the benefits? There's no overview of it. I hate that stuff. I'm sorry. Doesn't do the union any benefit by making these throwaway comments that really just scrub the details away and let's the writer here opinionate, but couch it as if it's fact. I know I'm commenting more on the articles than I actually am on the union. So now, the union's going to have a vote. They've already given out cards at 70%. This is me drawing conclusions. Okay, I'm not referring to the articles here, but they've got 70% already signed up. So you're going to pretty much say, when the voting comes down, it's a done deal. Probably is. They also say, by the way, in the article, and I had skipped over this. I was bad. That that this whole issue is that employees will now take place in a formalized vote, which opens up the doors for anti-union propaganda and other union-busting efforts from the company's ownership. We don't. Do we know that's going to happen? Do we know that? No. But this is pretty much stating this fact. This is fact. Starbucks locations attempting to unionize have faced no end to these kind of tactics in recent months, although Paizo workers were spared that during their successful formation last year. It's part of the process, right? I mean, if you are the business owner and you don't want a union, yeah, you're gonna. Oh, propaganda is too strong a word, but you're going to put your opinion out there and say, hey, listen, if you unionize, then maybe our 75 employees, we're going to have to lower the headcount down to 60. Right? And you might be fine with it. And with a union, it isn't necessarily the best employees that would be kept in that. It would be the last in, first out. That's generally, what unions mean. That was how I was hired, and we knew that there was a financial crunch in the city. That last in, the newly hired would be the ones that would lose their jobs. Never happened during my career, but there were times when we thought it would, and the newly hired always knew they would be the first ones. It happened in the past in the 70s. So is that propaganda if the company says that we got to downsize? I don't know. But to call it propaganda in the article, again, I just give a straight up news article. Keep the opinionating out of it, or write it as an opinion column and keep all the opinion in it. I think that works too. I don't build this channel as a pure news source. I certainly do a lot of news and I do a lot of investigations, but I also do some spitballing. I also do some, I believe that judging from what we see with Bridges of the Coast, I expect that it's going to be a big push toward direct sales, right? I've discussed that. Do I have a crystal ball? No. I'm opinionating. I'm opining. I am throwing some stuff out there. But this is written as if it is a news article, and I find that painful. All right, folks. On that note, and I'm sure I'm going to get a lot of feedback on this one. Feel free. If you're going to hit me with the Tenkar's anti-union, I'm not. But I am a bit of a realist, and I would not be surprised if unionizing a company with 25 employees and boosting everybody's salary up doesn't mean that the last ones in are going to be the first ones. I would expect that. What do I know, though? We shall see. Folks, on that note, we are in the midst of what? The endemic is not leaving us. So please, make your decisions. Make your use your common sense appropriately. Be safe, be well, God bless. Roll those dice, roll them well. And I will be back again tomorrow with some, random crap. And a live stream on Wednesday, 8 o'clock. We always have a live stream on Wednesday. Should be a good time. All right, folks. On that note,